to fully understand where you are, you have to remember where you came from. Let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the house that is mad. You're mad too by default because you're watching this mug on that screen. You're welcome. We'll do the housekeeping, get it all over and done with. If you like what I do around here and you're not subscribed, consider smashing that subscribe button down below and join me on this crazy train. I'm just saying. There are ways that you can support me. Giving us a thumbs up, chucking us a comment. Where are you from? How are you doing? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, he's not the only one that can do that. And you can also buy me a coffee if you want to do so. No obligation, of course, but it's there. And if you want to be nosy like me, and there is nothing wrong with being nosy, click that notification bell so that you get all the updates to all the videos that I upload. I upload twice a week. On Monday, it's me. On Friday, it's Mum. And sometimes, like last week, you might get a bonus. There might be an extra video. And you never know if that extra video is going to be Mum or me. It's a bomb surprise. So let's get into this week's video, shall we? The food has pretty much remained the same. Mincemeat. I haven't had a steak yet. Not done that. I've had some bacon this week. I'm still not quite there with bacon. I've had so much of it, and I'm definitely not there with eggs, but it's mostly been mincemeat with some taco seasoning or with some sour cream in it. I've been sort of like steering away from the mayo, mostly because I haven't felt like it. But the cheese is still a thing, and I'm happy with it. The coffee, that's pretty much it. I mean, with the exception of a full roast dinner that I did on Saturday. It was roast beef. That was yum. Not gonna lie. And I put a great big dollop of butter on it. It was yum. But that's pretty much it with the meat and in terms of what I actually eat. I'm one meal a day. It suits my purpose. It's fine for me. It works for me. And I'm happy with it. So there we go. That's just how that is. Now, there are some strange things happening in this house. Now, I don't mean spooky strange. No. But there are things happening with me. Like I said at the top of this video, in order to understand where you are, you have to remember where you came from. So let's go back. I wrote the date down. Let's go back to week 24, the 17th of June, 2024. At this point, I had lost 38.5 kilos. Significant. But let's have a look at that video, shall we? Moving it back into the side. Mash it. Yes. So that's where it came from. Want to see where I am? As of today's date, which is the 7th of July, And we're at 79 weeks. Hello. Oh dear. Excuse me, putty cat. Oh, take these off, they're not the right glasses. Oh, Murphy looks very distant. Oh, bugger, I forgot my package. I'm more worried about you walking backwards still. Yes. There we go. Yeah, a bit of a shocker, isn't it? There has been a very distinct shift with my body this last 48-ish hours, I'd say since Friday. And I have been standing on the vibration plate for like 5 minutes. I'm upping it to 6 minutes this week. If you were observant, you will realize that 2 things are missing from that video. One is the chair, the rolly chair, and the other is the walking stick. I am now at a point where I can leave my walking stick at the other end of the house, and I leave it just outside the bedroom door. I'll put a photograph over here. My cat Murphy thinks it's great fun to play with. It almost fell on him. But anyway, that's where it is, and that's where it will stay. The aim is to walk around the house without the walking stick. And I'm going to continue to build on that, whilst also building on the vibration plate. Now, I'm going to be absolutely clear in that no one thing has aided in me being able to accomplish that. So we're looking at a year, just over a year. I have lost weight, eaten more meat, reduced the carbs, done the emotional work, done some physical work as well. I've pushed myself whenever I could. None of that has been easy. And none of it is a quick fix. And just because I actually am able to walk around the house without the walking stick doesn't mean I get to rest on my laurels. I have to keep going because it's far from over. I've got a lot more work to do. And I need to build on what success I have now. Because the aim was always to go to the opera without being in a wheelchair and without using a walking stick. That was always the aim for me. And I am continuing to aim for that. If I still need to take it, I'll take it, the walking stick. But if I feel that I don't need it and that I can make that whole process without it, then I will. It is as simple as that. In terms of me as a person, like we do joke about it, oh, she's bossy, call Reuters. I am speaking up an awful lot more. I have had to have difficult cage-rattling conversations with both my sons because they need to sort themselves out. I even started cleaning the kitchen because it occurred to me that the struggle that I've had with the chores and them not doing it is that I'm expecting them to clean as if it was reflective of my mental health. And that's not fair. So my aim, and I've already started, I have started cleaning the cupboards above. I've got a long-handled mop that I use, and cleaning the walls, cleaning the cupboards and stuff like that, and just getting it to a point where the kitchen looks and reflects what my mind is like, because your surroundings are a reflection of your mind. And it's unfair of me to demand that they clean it based on my mental health and what my mind is like. They don't know what that looks like. But I am going to show them. I am taking those little excuses that children often give you, depending on the circumstances, of course. But if I only hear excuses, I call it out. So, because if I'm now moving 79 weeks on Carnivore, doing everything I can to get my life back, the excuses are non-existent. They can't deny the visual impact of what that looks like. The work that I've done, they can't ignore that. It's just, you can't. It's just right in your face. I asked initially, when I was going to start to do the kitchen, I asked one of my sons twice and the other one 3 times for the mop and bucket that I'm using. And those 5 times my request was denied. So I got up and I found it in their bathroom, and they were both standing in the hallway like this. Oh, I was going to get that for you, Mum. Said, don't worry about it. I got it myself. If you are thinking of doing something for your health, all along this journey, I've said you've got to remember your why. It's a very important part of this process, extremely important, because that why will keep you going in times of trouble, in low moments, flat moments, moments where you feel like you can't carry on. It will give you that push. But there also has to come a time where you have to stop giving yourself excuses. Because at the end of the day, you're only stopping yourself. You're not doing anybody else any harm. You're doing yourself the greatest disservice of all. You've got to stop with your own excuses. Oh, I'll start tomorrow. Why? Start with the next meal. It's difficult to do. This is not an easy journey. It's not easy for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. But when you're somebody the size that I am, it is a hard journey. And I'm not going to lie, everybody's journey is different. I get that. But when somebody says, oh, I just need to shift these 3 kilos and they won't go and then I'll be at my goal weight, bully for you. It's hard to listen to that. It really is hard to listen to it when we're sitting here with hundreds of kilos to get rid of. And I know that everybody, when they're on this journey, gets wrapped up in their own little world and their own little problems. Boy, do I get it. Boy, do I get it. There's just, you can't sit there and complain about shifting 3 kilos to get to your goal weight when you're stuffing yourself with things you shouldn't have. There, I said it. Everybody's got to do what they need to do. And how they're going to do it. That's the question. That's the thing. Quit with the excuses and get on with it. Just get on with it. So how about we cue the montage? I have never been so happy as I am right now. I am not worried about the fluctuations in weight or measurements. Not at all. Because I know that it's an all roads lead to Rome type of deal for me. Because I know what I'm doing. I know how I'm doing it. And it's only going to get better. It took a year, over a year, for me to be able to go, all right, I'm actually walking straighter without the walking stick. Does the back ache? Yes, but it's a different kind of ache. It's a, oh, these muscles haven't been worked out in ages kind of ache. I'm good with it. Little miss, I hate extra pain. Yeah, little miss, I hate extra pain. I'm good with it. Because I've gotten rid of enough of the pain that any extra is going to be tolerable. Here we are, folks. No more excuses. I'm not worried at all. My weight goes like this, up and down, up and down. The measurements go up and down, up and down, up and down. Not worried, because I know I'm healing my body and I know I'm doing the right thing by myself. Being worth it for yourself, being enough for yourself is a tough one. It really is. And one of the things that I've said to my eldest is that it's not over till it's over, but to work this hard every day, I realize that it's not because I hate myself. I don't. I just love myself enough to want better. Being worth it to yourself. Not needing validation from other people. The validation, like, if it comes in sort of like, oh, good for you, yay, that's great stuff to hear. But I no longer define myself by the people that are in my life. I don't need to, because I know who I am. When I say things have been getting crazy in this house in the last 48 hours, they've been getting crazy. I know exactly who I am. And who I am is, for the most part, the person that I was raised to be in a world that is quite unlike any other world that I have ever seen. I was brought up in a world of opera. I was brought up in the wings of a theatre, in a dressing room of a theatre, travelling to and from a theatre, travelling overseas. I was brought up in a world that to others would probably call it not normal. To you, but to me, it's the person who I am. How I was brought up, only child, the world that I was brought up in, shouldn't be disregarded just because it's different. And I know that. And I'm not going to be silenced or made to feel like I am less just because I was brought up differently. What is normal for one won't be normal for another. I don't struggle with how I was brought up. I struggle with the life that occurred after Mum died. That's where my struggle was. And I'm slowly starting to understand that, which means this world is getting easy. This kind of world that I'm in now is getting easier to actually navigate because I understand where I came from. And where I came from is going to be and has been the greatest source of strength and motivation. And I always used to say that my mum was my little wise owl. And oh boy, was she wise. And I always used to say, my gosh, Mum, if I am a tenth as wise as you when I am your age, then I'm going to be fine. I'll be great. I'll do well. And there's always been that sort of goal, I want to be as wise as my mother. Yes, that's a nice thing to have in the back of the mind, but the wisdom comes from the years that were lived. And a good deal of the building blocks of the life that I lived was enriched by music, theatre, artists, expression, emotion. That's a pretty darned good start for a kid. And I wouldn't change it for all the world. I know who I am. I know exactly who I am. And I love that you are here on this ride, this crazy train, this house that is mad. I love that you guys tune in and listen to me wax lyrical on God knows what else, what subject, whatever it might be. I am going to ask you to be kind to those around you. Protect your peace. Don't take any crap. I am so beyond serious. There has to be a point where you say, enough. Make it now. I did. And it's made the world of difference. But you also have to be kind to yourself, and that's a tough one. You are loved, you are appreciated, and you are enough. I hope you're saying those 3 things in the mirror every day. Don't doubt yourself. You can do it. Just end the excuses and make tomorrow yours. I'll see you next time, folks. Bye for now. Mwah.